So here we go into game number 5. So hello everyone, I'm ButteryGreg, and I'm here with game number 5, I believe. If I can count, this is game number 5, in the ESC qualifier match between Team Legion and Decerto. And it is going to be a PvT on MLG Shattered Temple. So spawning on the left side, we have Thronkar as the blue Protoss from Decerto, and his opponent from Team Legion, who managed to save the team from getting an all-kill by beating Maddie last game, spawning in the bottom as the green Terran. You guys will, an astute observer will note that this is close by air position on Shattered Temple, and I think that's a position that puts Terran in a strong strategic place. Basically, you know, close by air means that drops are effective. And any race can use drops, but traditionally in the metagame, Terran has relied on Medivacs or Banshee Harass. You know, they've got a lot of options, but anyone can do drops, of course. Terran just has a general sort of propensity for doing drops. So the close by air position benefits avilo because it plays to the natural strengths of his race, or sort of the natural accepted way to play his race, which is to do drops or to harass with air units. Whereas Thronkar, of course, is going to go for more High Templar, Colossus, powerful ground units, but they have to take the long way to get to avilo's base, which opens him up for, I think, a lot of interesting back and forth harasses. If we move into the mid game, you know, assuming both players don't do something aggressive early, we will probably see a lot of air attacks coming in through here, and ground counters coming in through the middle of the map, of course. And so Thronkar is going to need to invest heavily in static defense to protect the south of his base, and he's probably going to need to leave some High Templar or Stalkers around to kill off any rogue Medivacs or Banshees that might be coming into his base. We see that avilo is opening with a Gas Geyser, and Thronkar's throwing down the Gas Steal. This is weird. I don't see this very often, but hey, that's cool, you know. We do see the Gas Steal coming in here, the PvT Gas Steal. To be honest, I've never really faced this in PvT. I'm not sure what exactly his objective is here. We see he's taken his second Gas Geyser relatively early, which means he's going to be going for tech. It's still uncertain whether it's going to be a 1 or 2 base play. He has spent all of his Chrono Boost on probes, so I would expect to see an expansion in the near future. He's going to be pumping out a Stalker. I think this is kind of cute more than anything. I suppose mostly what this does is it delays the 1-1-1. Basically, the 1-1-1, I mean, it's not an early second gas, but it needs a second gas before 4.5 minutes, you know, because the starport cost gas, the tech labs cost gas. You need 2 tech labs for your Banshees and for your tanks and stuff. So it looks like avilo is going to be going for that 1-1-1 style, but with this delayed second gas, he's going to be delayed on getting... Well, he's either going to be delayed, or he's going to have fewer of the high-tech units that make the Marine Tank Banshee mix powerful. This actually works out pretty well for Thronkar, and we see Thronkar is going for the 1-gate Robo. This is a build I first saw Kiwikaki do in an MLG a while back when everyone was convinced about how OP the 1-1-1 was. It is actually going to be a 3-gate Robo, but with the robotics moved ahead of 2 of the gateways. This is the classic anti-cheese composition. This, if you guys were wondering, this is how you hold off a 1-1-1. You're going to have Immortals from your Robo. I mean, you get an Observer to scout with. You're going to have gateways, so you can have lots of units. You know, it's one base, but so is the 1-1-1. And when you're playing against an all-in, you don't need to play more economically, you just need to survive. If you make it to the point where he loses with his all-in, then you by default have an advantage because there's a next step to your game, whereas he has made some sort of a critical sacrifice to get to where he is. So, really, I think this is an excellent decision against a 1-1-1 from Terran. That said, we'll see what exactly avilo's plans are. He is making tech labs on both of these, which suggests that he is going to be transitioning to Marine Tank Banshee. But there's a Medivac floating around out here somewhere. Like I said earlier, it's close by air, which means it plays into the natural Terran drop mechanism that we see so frequently. So there's going to be a light Hellion harass moving in here, and Thronkar is completely out of position with his defenses. These Hellions, oh no, he pulled his probes. Guys, never do that. Did you see that? Did you see how many probes he killed? He got 7 probes. Some really, really important advice for you. You don't want to pull your probes against a Hellion harass, specifically because they line up. They line up so well. A little bit of micro, he could have gotten a ton of kills right there. It happens. There, oh my god. Oh my god, 17 probes killed. These Hellions are worth their weight in gold. 18 probes killed, even. As I say, yeah, so, yeah, just a little bit of advice. Don't pull your probes like that. Because Hellions, they do area of effect and align damage, right? So when your probes try to retreat through one of these two channels, they naturally condense into a small group, and they all get hit by the line. Whereas if they just continue mining, then maybe 2 or 3 of them get hit at once, and the Hellions are a lot less effective. And so avilo, of course, is going to transition into pretty standard follow-up there. Actually, I really like this. He's repairing his units. Not too many Terran players do this. I mean, I guess pros do, and they should. But frequently you'll see Terran units, they're like, oh, well, my mech got damaged, whatever, I'll just send it back in and it'll die. No, you absolutely want to repair it, because you get all your life back, and you can just use it again as a brand new unit. Pretty much for free. So now avilo's going to move in with his Banshee. This is going to be more annoying than anything. I do believe Banshees beat Stalkers one-on-one, but he's focusing down this pylon, and he's going to be able to... sorry, I looked at the wrong supply. He's not going to be able to supply block Thronkar, even if he were to kill it. But the Banshee's forced to retreat. It's down to 60 hit points. He needs to repair this. At the same time, we see the Marine Tank SCV push coming in from the front. This is a great multi-pronged attack. He absolutely has more units than Thronkar does, so if he micros this correctly, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage here. And even though Thronkar went for this 3-gate robo, I think the extremely effective Hellion harass that we saw earlier may have very negatively affected his build order advantage. These sieged up tanks on the low ground are very strong. He does need to move them over slightly because he's a little bit out of position, but at this point, Thronkar is supply blocked. And when you're defending against a 1-1-1, you never want to be supply blocked, because invariably you're going to find in some way that you have like slightly the wrong composition. You're going to be like, damn, I wish I could just trade one of my zealots for an immortal or something, you know? So we actually don't see any immortals on the field yet, and this poses a serious problem for Thronkar, because siege tanks are very strong, and they're really only susceptible to immortals. With all these units to tank damage for them, the zealots aren't going to be able to get in close enough. And I mean, we see just these marine tank mixture is just decimating Thronkar's army. It's unfortunate. It may have been a little bit premature, but I definitely would agree that avilo had a strong advantage after that engagement. So Thronkar's going to GG. Avilo's going to take the game. He's going to bring it back to 2-3, and it looks like it's actually going to tie up and be really close now. We're going to have some really tough final matches here, because players on both teams are going to be getting more and more nervous